Hey, 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 how are you guys? Happy Monday. I see T Jones, if I can talk. Hello, welcome in. So, today I am going to be talking about kind of a continuation of the whole artificial intelligence, AI conversation I started about a week or so ago. So I had introduced this video following a video I seen from YouTuber Lovely T, where she had shared an AI rapper, an AI Instagram influencer slash model who actually did an advertisement campaign. So I wanted to dig further into the conversation about automation and specifically talk about the jobs that are going to be the most affected over the course of the next 10 years. And some you may even already see. I know there are some that I've already talked about on this channel. So I do have a list of these top, it's actually 6 that I narrowed down, but there are definitely more. But these are the ones that's actually, it's like happening right now. And if we don't pay attention, a lot of folks that are depending on these jobs are going to look up and see their job gone. So I do just want to highlight them. I don't want folks that watch my channel to be blindsided at all whatsoever. So I made a post in my community tab as well, basically sharing a quote. Robots will replace 40% of jobs in the next 15 years. And that was from an article put out by Fortune. So it's definitely happening. We see the revolution pretty much happening every 10 years about. There's this big transformation that happens, and those that aren't paying attention are typically left behind. Like we saw that well, probably the biggest is between 2000 and maybe 2008. We saw, social media, digital marketing, and all of that really take over. And those marketers and those that were not in that space, didn't understand e-commerce, they have been left behind with that revolution. So AI, artificial intelligence, is going to be the next big thing. And hello, King of Kills, welcome in. You're so busy, but you're back. Okay, well, welcome back. Glad you're working though. You're getting that money. I understand. So the first job I want to hone in on is going to be customer support. And when I say customer support, I'm talking about everything from when you call a line on the phone, you call your bank, and you can't get a person, right? Well, that is going to increase more and more. Along with that, I've had a lot of people ask me about jobs that are like virtual assistant, chat bots. They want to be the online person that responds to customers. Well, some of those jobs do exist, but a lot of those jobs are going away. We have chatbots. We have Google. They have their own chatbots. We have all these companies investing in chatbots. So I don't want people to be so focused on customer service type of jobs because we see those slowly going away. And over the course of the next 10 years, we are not going to really have a lot of people to contact when it comes to customer service. We're going to be talking to artificial intelligence, right? And I see you, T Jones, you're listening in the back. All right. So the next job I do want to share is going to be the store clerks. And so you may hear people say, like, they want their son or daughter, or even, grown folks that want to get a job at just their grocery store, Walmart, Target, whatever. We see a lot of older folks going back into the workspace and they get a job at Walmart or something. Well, a lot of these jobs are going away. In particular, there is the Amazon Go store, there's Tally, and there's also SoftBank that have these initiatives where they have these bots that are providing customer support. So, when you go to the store and you're like, hello, can I get some help? I can't find anything. Well, it's hard to find people now. It's going to get harder, but what's going to replace it is going to be an AI tool by maybe an Amazon Go store where you can have this bot ask you, do you need help with something? And they're going to actually help you find the items that you need. Moving store like items around. When you go to a mall, people that fold the clothes and those store clerks too. That's not going to look the same anymore. You're going to see bots doing a lot of these tasks, stocking, and you already see if you go to your grocery store, sometimes a Target or Walmart, you will see that there are already machines that are scanning these things, scanning the products, taking inventory. Well, there used to be companies that hired many people to actually do that same task. They would go around and scan and take inventory. This is getting replaced by bots. So I don't want people to really be blindsided by that. It is coming. The next thing that I have actually talked about on the channel a lot is going to be fast food. And I'm talking everything from the person taking orders at your McDonald's, your Panera, your whatever, whatever type of restaurant you go into and you're getting some quick food, right? Well, if you visit any Panera or McDonald's, you're going to start seeing kiosks where you can put in your own order. You don't have to talk to the person if you don't want to. You can just put in an order. Well, now we have the option to go to a cashier, but soon we're just going to have that kiosk. More and more businesses are going to be incorporating that because it saves them money. And if you think about the whole Biden push or Democratic push to increase minimum wage, well, these companies are not going to pay a minimum wage for these basic tasks that they can replace with a bot. They're not going to pay increasing amounts of money when they can replace that job with a robot, right? Or with some type of machine where we put in our order, we grab our food. The other part of the fast food is actually going to be the chefs. So I've talked about this a few times. Flippy is a robot arm. It's a machine put out by Miso Robotics. I've looked at them a couple times because I've looked at them as an investment. And can't go so they love self-checkout. I know it's terrible. Right, same sometimes. But Flippy is this machine that will cook the food for you. They're going to do the fries. They're going to make the burgers. They're going to make all that stuff. So really, you don't have to interact with an actual person. Now, in regards to self-checkout, I will say, King of Kill, I actually don't like self-checkout in the world of this pandemic because I don't like the idea of touching a screen. So like I'll do one of these, or I'll like hit my keyboard with my finger, or like my knob, anything to where I'm not touching with my fingertips. So I don't like the self-checkout. I prefer a person because I can give my things to them, have them check it out or whatever. And I know that a lot of times they're using hand sanitizer after each interaction versus me going to a glass screen and touching it where exactly somebody else, or I don't know, 100 other people that day have touched that screen. So that's just my personal preference. I don't like the self-checkouts a lot because I just feel like, you know, if we're thinking about germs, that's pretty germy to think about unless you're doing an elbow thing. But that's just me. So the next one, I was actually a little bit surprised. I hadn't thought about so much, but truck drivers and the self-driving revolution is coming. You know, we already know Tesla has their self-driving cars. Well, over the course of the next 10, 15 years, we are going to see Waymo, Google, GM, all of them are investing in these self-driving tools. And one in particular, Embark, is a company that I just found out about. And I'll show you the article here in a second that I was referencing earlier today. But there's a company called Embark. And what their model is they're going to have just one driver, one human driver, followed by a multitude of these, you know, driverless trucks. So they're going to be leading the pack, and the driverless trucks just follow them. So truck driver jobs, I mean, they're coming. There's not going to be as many. So there may be a time over the next course of 10, 15 years where, you know, you see truck drivers pretty much have it good. They can get some really good pay. You don't have to go to a college. You just need to get like your CDL. You just need some licenses, right? And you can become a truck driver and be making between $70,000 and $100,000 a year, and you know, make a pretty decent, you know, income. But there are companies that will be replacing truck driver jobs. And yes, I am talking about, you know, the semis that you see on the highway. those truck driver jobs, those are going to slowly be going away. And those are always high in demand. So, of course, these businesses, if they can get a model where they don't need as many drivers, they're going to be making money. So, the company is called Embark. Again, they have the model where one person is driving and being followed by driverless trucks. King of Kill is saying we definitely need to talk about minimum wage. I've heard both sides of the argument. I think I kind of lean towards the right on that one. Well, here's the thing: it really isn't going to matter too much, King of Kill, because again, AI is coming. If you don't skill up, if you're not getting skills, these basic jobs where you're just taking an order or you're just stocking a shelf, where these politicians are saying pay a higher wage. Sure, the company will pay a higher wage, but the jobs are going to be less and less. So it's not going to be as many people doing it. They're going to utilize tools like, AI. And think about it. The companies have that money to invest into artificial intelligence. They're already doing it. GM, McDonald's, Panera, they're already doing it. But what's going to happen is they'll say, sure, you know what? You want us to pay a higher minimum wage? We'll pay a higher minimum wage. But what we're going to do is we're going to have to lay some people off. We're going to be implementing these technologies. So now we're going to have a significantly less amount of people that we have to pay this minimum wage to, this higher wage, right? And not only that, they're going to be doing more. They're going to have to do more. They're going to do more highly skilled things, right? So maybe they're only going to have the management level jobs in a restaurant. And I'm just kind of making this up. I'm thinking if I were a business person, right? And I had to pay a higher wage. Well, you typically are not in any workplace. You're not going to get more pay in most instances without having either higher skills, so a higher skill set. So that means you've taken on or you skilled up. So they're now paying for that niche skill that you have, or you're taking on more responsibility, which typically equals a little more stress, high visibility and things like that. Or it just means that you're in an area that maybe there aren't as many people working in, right? You're in one of those roles, and a lot of people, again, think of tech. So like these folks that are programming the AI right now, they're in higher demand than there is supply. So you're typically in some of those buckets if you're going to get higher pay. So if they're saying you're going to have to pay a higher wage, they're going to be in these skill jobs, and they're going to let the AI handle those things like customer support, things like store clerks and restocking and making sure things are there. Fast food workers cooking the fries or the burger. They've got the, Flippy. They've got Flippy. They can flip burgers. They can do the fries. The robot, let the robot do it. And you're going to have to do something else that is higher skilled. It requires a little more effort. It requires a little more thought, something. And then with the drivers, that was interesting to me because I always really, as I've been thinking about truck drivers, it's always been that in-demand skill where it's like if you don't want to go to school, you don't want to go to college, you can always become a truck driver. Well, that we're seeing Waymo, Google, GM, they're all investing. And again, Embark is going to have it where you just need a couple of truck drivers and they lead the rest of the pack, which are driverless trucks. So the next one, I kind of knew it was going to happen, but I just didn't realize there were companies investing in it already. But the delivery services. So, right now we've got Instacart, we got Shipt, we've got DoorDash, we've got Grubhub, we've got all these delivery services. And that's a big way that a lot of people are taking on side income. Like they're, making some extra money, or if their job went away, they're making more money. It's either kind of DoorDash, delivery service, or Postmates, whatever. Or they're doing Lyft, Uber, something in between. Well, now we're saying the driverless cars. The other part of the driverless cars is Tesla. Don't forget, Tesla has it enabled where these people that own Teslas, they're going to start letting their Tesla drive people. And that's going to be the Uber Lyft. So it's going to be the robot driving you around. It is coming. Again, think 10 years from now, think 15 years from now, it's coming. The next thing that I want to point out about the delivery services is there is a couple of companies, Starship, Yape, and Marble. Starship it basically has this, let me see if I can show you. I'm going to show you a picture of it if I can. But basically, there's this kind of, I don't even know what to call it. It's like it is a robot. It almost looks like you would see it in a spacecraft or on Mars or something. But it'll be this climate controlled or temperature controlled robot. It keeps the food. You have the app. It delivers it to you. And then you use the app to open it up. So it's not like you have to be worried about the thing getting robbed or anything like that. And you get your food. So there's no interaction with anyone. So, I mean, easy. You don't have to do anything. So let me see if I can share that. And then I see King of Kill says, so which skills will be important in the coming robo revolution? I think so. With my thinking, the main things are going to be, one, cybersecurity is going to be very important. If we have more machines at work, they're getting hold of more data, right? Because even now the delivery service, now we got the robot having our data because they have to know how to get to our address, right? What kind of food we like, how to get to the restaurant's address, our information, financial information, credit card information, whatever. We're going to have to protect that, right? So there's going to be more and more demand for cybersecurity because the one downfall, which I said in my video where I talk more in depth about AI and artificial intelligence, the one downfall of a machine in artificial intelligence is that it is still a robot. It is a computer. So if it's a computer, it can be hacked. We can hack the program. So what's going to happen is more folks that actually work in cybersecurity are going to be in demand because we have to protect that data, right? The other jobs that will most likely be in demand are going to be, in the IT space, business analysts, people that can program these robots, more strategy level roles, right? Of people that can think what's next for AI, right? Or what's next for our businesses. So definitely strategic jobs, and then it's still going to be a lot of growth in AI. Now, the other thing is AI is coming for the creative jobs too. So it's kind of tough to say, maybe a few weeks ago, I would have said, content creators or entertainers, those will be the jobs that will continue. But I showed in the other video, we've got influencers. We've got an actual robot who did an advertisement with Gigi Hadid, literally interacted with her on this advertisement. Looks like a complete person. She's doing interviews. She's got an Instagram page. She's showing us everything that she's done, her outfits. It's a little scary. So I would encourage you to watch that video as well. Let me see if I can share this with you. And then I got a couple other, actually one more. So I'll just go ahead and say this last one before I share my screen. But the last one is actually that I didn't think I would be sharing is security guards. Security guards. There's two main companies, S&P Robotics and Nightscope. They have remote surveillance. So if you think about, different company campuses and security services, well, now instead of having the security patrol, again, 10 years from now, think over the course of 10, 15 years, which is not going to, 2010 wasn't that long ago. At least it doesn't feel like it was that long ago. These companies do have remote surveillance. So right now, I've recruited multiple people that do patrol of a campus, right? They're patrolling because they can't completely control every area, right? The cameras only get too far. Well, having robots that actually go around the campus and they are patrolling. So now you may need less of the security guards because now you don't need everyone patrolling as much because you have Robot Timmy, I just made that up, Robot Timmy going around the campus for you. So doing that laborious work, and maybe you're just sitting down, or maybe you got a couple of people sitting down watching what Timmy is seeing, and then he can alert, he or she, I don't know why I'm giving a gender to the robot, but they will report back to show anything, and they can do things quicker. They can call 911 quicker than we can, and we can dial, right? Instant. So you're going to see a lot of programs. Again, that was S&P Robotics and Nightscope. Okay, let me see if I can share this. Let me see. Because you guys know I have trouble sometimes. I do want to share a video as well, like a snippet, not the whole video. Okay. Okay, let me see where I found. This is not the one. Because I looked at one article and I was like, not really. Not really. Okay, so this is the article I was looking at. So I already knew about Miso Robotics. So it's talking about the fast food. So Miso Robotics of Pasadena. They have Flippy. I didn't remember what it was called, but they do have a machine. If you go look them up, it's kind of insane that, you're really not going to have people anymore doing that. And Barb. So let me see if I can share this, make it a little bit bigger. So they were sharing. So the American Trucking Association put a current shortage at 50,000 drivers. So again, in-demand drivers. If the trend continues, he said the shortage could hit over 150,000 a decade. And as the shortage becomes more acute, it will begin to affect the ability of goods to be delivered on time, which is becoming more important in today's on-demand economy. So what are people doing in response to that? Well, more and more companies I see are going to pop up, because when you see there's a problem, there's going to be more companies creating a solution, right? So this is a company, Embark, that I was mentioning, and they said it's still like in pilot program, but the whole premise of their business case is a person would lead a platoon, which they're showing platooning. So they lead the truck platoon, and they're followed by a series of driverless trucks. So it saves not just on driver salaries, but fuel, because the driverless trucks can tuck in close behind the lead vehicle to draft like race cars. So they're taking a lot of humans out of that picture with the truck drivers. And then the other thing, the delivery driver, did I see a picture in here? I must have seen that somewhere else. There was actually a picture of one of the bots. Oh, there we go. Okay, there it is. So this is the delivery man, if you can see. I don't know if you can see that. You guys can't see. I'm sharing something else. I'm like scrolling through here as if you can see my screen. You didn't tell me, guys. Okay, let's try that again. Okay, let me try this. Okay, now you should be able to see the robot. So this is the delivery. This is the delivery robot, delivery man, right? So that thing is going to be able to travel to your address and deliver your food for you. So why would we need DoorDash and Grubhub? No one's touching it, only literally the cook or the chef, the restaurant, they're putting it there and it's sending it on its way, right? So less people coming in contact with it. You hear these different stories about people putting stuff in food and doing weird stuff, right? Well, now you have less people even in the picture. So why wouldn't you want a service where you have Starship, which is the company that put out this product? You just have the robot deliver right to your house. So again, that's why I say, with cybersecurity, someone's going to have to protect that data that's coming through all of these different devices. The other thing is, your question, King Akil, about another skill that's going to be in demand. It's going to be Internet of Things and Internet of Behaviors, because that's more about the connectivity of these machines talking to each other. So your phone talking to this robot, talking to another robot, talking to this. If you think about all the things that we're connected to, from our computer, from our phone, our iPad, our Fitbit, our Apple Watch, our Alexa, the TV, all of these things are going to be more and more connected to each other. So a job in IoT or Internet of Things will enable you to really manage that, continuing that connectivity of all these IT products that we're using on a day-to-day. So the other thing, and you can see Starship, 6-wheel cooler that can be opened by the designated recipient using a smartphone app. So it's got to talk to that Starship. So Internet of Things, again, that's going to be a skill. So Intuit's campus in Silicon Valley has been one of the many places it has been tested. So it's already in testing. Again, we're thinking over the course of 10, 15 years, this is going to happen sooner than we think, right? So, and they're pointing out they don't take tips, right? So we're going to save money. Like, you don't have to tip the person either. Of course. Well, I'll just do the robot. Why am I got to spend more money for a person, right? And then the last one, the security guard. So these are the devices that I was talking about where with S&P Robotics and Nightscope, you're going to have these guys patrolling a campus. So companies like Bayer, for example, formerly Monsanto, they will have officers on site patrolling their area just to make sure, they have confidential information on their campus. They want to keep their people that are on campus safe, things like that. They're monitoring for suspicious activity. Sometimes people do, obviously random acts, arson, just random things. They're protecting their campuses for that. Well, there may not need as many security guards because there you go. You got multiple ones patrolling. They can see everything. They can probably see you before you even see them coming. If there was some suspicious activity going on, right? I can't see a little device on the ground as easily as I can see a human walking towards me or a car, one of those patrol cars coming through, right? And then you said King of Kill. I'm just reading your comment. I'm sorry. These are valuable gems for future business owner. My brain wheels are turning. Yes, definitely. I would say even investors. So the companies I'm naming out, I mean, especially if you're in one of these spaces, you may want to invest in some of these companies so that you are getting some of that, you're getting some of that profit that these companies are going to make once this transition really happens. And then the other thing that I wanted to bring to the table is just I don't want people to be blindsided. I want people to really think about what this means for them. And of course, these easier jobs are going to be replaced before the jobs that are more skilled. And even, for my role, like as a recruiter, AI is coming, and I totally recognize that. So I'm not saying that I'm in a different place, but I would say these are definitely some of the ones that are going to be replaced because they're already working on it, right? And then I just wanted to point out with Uber, Lyft, Waymo was a company that's backed by Google, and Cruise is the company backed by GM. I couldn't remember the name. And then also Intel is another one. They're trying to take the human out of the loop when it comes to they're just trying to replace the human. Like Tesla are doing it. Like I said, people that own Teslas, they're going to be able to profit off of their Tesla because they're going to enable that driverless driving, right? So if someone wants to use Uber, Lyft, well, they're getting all the profit because they own a Tesla and that robot can drive them around, right? What was the other thing? And then I don't know if anyone's really surprised about fast food, fast food store clerks, customer support. Those are coming too. I also do think that I didn't include it on my list, but I do see accountants. There being a lot of AI work replacing them as well, because as I mentioned in the past video, a lot of the analysis work, like the AI will be able to think, the AI can learn, the AI can do analysis work for us. So I see there being a shift there too. So I am going to play a snippet of a video Let me see. King to Kill is saying war and capitalism have been the greatest drivers of innovation in this country. Oh yeah, of course. Because why are people doing this? They're doing it to make money. Oh yeah, they're doing it to make money. Okay. I don't know why I just closed that tab, but oh well. I'm gonna play this video. Let me see if I can make it bigger. I'll turn this up. Okay, let me pause that. Got a little bit bigger. It keeps wanting to play. I'm like, no, not yet. Not yet. Okay. Share audio. I want to say this is the one. Okay, I'm gonna test it. I don't know if this is the one. Let's see. Okay, yes. Okay. Let's see if this plays.
I think where we're transforming to is how we do this, how we do AI at scale, how we become an AI-driven company.
And you're gonna see makeup industry in AI as well, even makeup.
There's so many thousands or maybe tens of thousands of people's jobs are squarely in the bullseye of some of my friends in AI. And frankly, those tens of thousands of people doing those jobs now have no idea.
So the standard way to grow lettuce, throw down a whole bunch of seeds and a bunch of them germinate. They actually have too much. And so a farmer goes through and they say, you know, this one's doing well, that one's not doing well. And they actually over-fertilize the ones that aren't doing well, effectively killing them. And then that actually makes the other ones thrive. It's a thinning process. So they built a robot that can go into a field to ascertain the state of the crop and then take the appropriate action. Just doing that, they increase yields by 10%. This is probably the oldest business in the world. You still have optimization to be done.
So they're increasing their profits.
Now
getting
AI
rid of
is
that,
being
replacing
incorporated
with a
into
robot.
all sorts of things. The Alexa, Echo, or Google Home, or Siri. That's very garden variety AI. This is really first inning AI.
We always try to not just do technology for technology's sake, but actually solving a consumer problem or pain point. We feel like we need to have the right data and the right talent to actually really take advantage of AI. So we're kind of focused on that first, but we're also experimenting in a couple of different ways of getting some AI out there just to test.
Most CEOs are asking themselves, what can I do with AI? How can I incorporate this? This is clearly the future, but they don't really know. And that's part of the problem. It's very abstract. Most of the applications you see today involve machine learning. Google image search, right? That's machine learning comparing things. A certain kind of ad on Facebook, that's machine learning trying to tailor those ads to the preferences that you have expressed on Facebook. The more advanced stuff, that's not really in the wild yet, but for the largest tech companies.
So artificial intelligence actually has its roots back in computing. Alan Turing even, he was really trying to recapitulate pieces of intelligence. What made a machine intelligent? And he recognized very early on that that lived in the information space, processing information to make it useful somehow. The term artificial intelligence was coined in the 60s. We started to understand that the brain was definitely electrical in the 40s.
Pause there. In the 60s. So think about that. This didn't just pop up, right? We've known about this. We've been working on artificial intelligence, right? This machine learning since the 60s. I don't want that to be missed.
We actually defined how it works electrically, how information is represented, what we call spiking. That actually was concurrent with a lot of innovations on the computing side because we said, well, brains are information tools, computers are information tools, and there's always this parallel. The first computer science department, the first neuroscience department started about a year apart. When we figured out that neurons represent information in a certain way, we tried to simulate those things in synthetic systems, We thought it would be really easy because we figured out all these principles from the brain. Turns out it's a little more difficult than that. So the field kind of had its ups and downs until computing got to a point where it was dense enough and the data set sizes got to the point where they're big enough. 2010, 2011 timeframe is when neural networks met Moore's law, met big data. This whole field exploded. It's going to change with time, but overall, the goal of a learning system is to find useful structure in data.
Prominent AI researchers have said that AI will be like electricity. Electricity was a big deal. It was this new invention that people talked about. Nobody talks about electricity anymore. And that's where we are with AI. X years down the road, sooner rather than later, AI will be infused in all these things in ways that we couldn't possibly fathom today.
So did you hear him say it's going to be like electricity? We don't think about electricity at all. It's natural to us, but it's crucial to our everyday life. So what I take away from what he's saying is that, just like electricity was and has evolved to our everyday life, we cannot live without electricity, right? Everything we use on a day-to-day revolves around electricity. Well, he's comparing that to artificial intelligence. So artificial intelligence, machine learning, this idea of robots being able to actually learn behaviors and learn us. Like when we are going on Facebook and we get the ad and we were just thinking about this thing, or we were just talking about this sweater from, I don't know, or this outfit from Zara, or getting a bathing suit from Victoria's Secrets or something. Not saying these things have happened to me, right? Of course they've happened to me. You talk about it and then all of a sudden you're getting an advertisement for it. Well, machine learning, the machines are learning about us, right? So it's going to be what he's saying to his point, and I do believe it because we've already seen it manifested in TV and movies and things. That is going to be a crucial part of our life.
We really have reached a tipping point in AI. Some of the more powerful elements of AI, the deep learning of AI, you're just now able to use it in some pretty incredible use cases.
The way that you use a telephone is different from the way that I use a telephone, the way that we actually key. We have artificial intelligence that can detect your behavior. So if I left my phone there and you picked it up and tried to make a payment, it would know it's not me.
When we're unloading a truck full of strawberries, one of the drivers can open up the case and take a photo. We can determine whether it was sent sustainably and how long that fruit is going to last.
I think AI can be the future of personalization, and I think personalization is where retail and beauty are going. We have what's called Sephora Virtual Artist, which is our augmented reality beauty experience. We're using computer vision so it can kind of map your facial features.
Okay, so makeup artists. Do I need as many makeup artists if I can go through the Sephora app and have this visual artist help me get my look together, show me exactly where I need to put the stuff? That's basically what the makeup artist does. They know exactly where to place things on your face. And that is a big portion of their job. Well, AI may be coming for the makeup industry as well.
And know where to place the makeup when you look at it virtually.
We've actually been using AI to really reshape the entire end-to-end shopping journey for the customer. Increasingly, you use AI to show up through targeted display ads in places where the consumer is shopping. So if you let us know that you're interested in certain lifestyles and certain items, we'll make sure that we personalize the recommendations that we make for you.
Our customers use a lot of AI. The self-driving systems use it for object detection. We work with people that are perceiving the occupants. Are they happy? Are they scared? Are they losing trust with the vehicle? There are already dozens of applications of AI, and I only expect that to increase.
There is no
Okay, so I hope you guys can hear this okay, but he just shared that even with the self-driving cars, they're detecting not only the cars, obviously, is the car too close and all that stuff to make sure we're driving safe. But the person behind the car, like, how are they feeling, right? All of this, they're going to be able to know health information about you. To my point in the other video I made about AI, there are a lot of things that they can detect in seconds about us in an instant, like our emotional state, right? Our health state, even. I talked about that in the video. So I encourage you to watch that one. I think it's just titled Artificial Intelligence, yada, yada, yada. It's like under the first couple of videos. But they can literally sense, kind of like how they say dogs and cats can sniff and smell if you were to have a disease or something. Well, they're able to detect those things about your health. How are they going to be able to do that, right? If you think about it, there's a lot of biotech, right? Biotech is huge right now. So thinking about how are they going to be able to detect that? Well, maybe our body, maybe they're going to push for our bodies to be synced up with technology somehow. We already see this in a very smooth, soft kind of way with the push for Apple Watches and Fitbits over the course of the past, 10 years, right? So if you think about it, you're syncing technology to your body. There's wearable tech. That industry has been booming. Well, there's probably going to be some more push for that, to where if you think about that tech, not only is it tracking where you go, right, but also how you're feeling, your workout. Did you work out today? Your blood, do you have high blood pressure, low blood pressure? All these things are things that these robots will be able to sense. So will you even have a personal kind of space? The robots will be able to really know a lot more about you, more and more. King of Kill, you said, are you afraid of AI taking over the world? Who knows what may happen? We talked about that on the other discussion. But, I don't know if there's really anything to be afraid of. If it's going to happen, it's going to happen. If it were to happen, I'd probably be older anyway. So, hey, I live a good life, But I feel like there probably would be something that brings the human race together, right? It shows us that we're dividing each other based on race and color and religion and politics and all these weird things that we create and make up. But at the end, we're human. And maybe it does come to the point where we're like fighting robots. Who knows? Who knows what the future has in store? King Kill is saying, I believe the need for human interaction will always be needed. I do believe that. But King of Kill, if you look at that last video, that AI robot seemed human. Like if you were just listening to her for a few minutes, Michaela, this I may show it. I don't know, King of Kill, were you on that video? Did you join the AI discussion? But this robot seems like a real person. I mean, very engaging, very nice facial expressions, laughing, and doing all of these things that you would place to human nature, right? You would place that to a human. This robot was doing it all. Hi, Brian. Welcome in. How are you? Okay, I'm going to keep playing the video. I'm probably going to keep stopping it to make some commentary.
Technological development with more potential than artificial intelligence. Because it is a suite of capabilities, it's going to solve simple things in our lives and the extraordinary things. What is really exciting about that for the business community, there's money to be made.
Okay, now I don't want you to miss that, because all these companies that I mentioned, right? All of the companies I mentioned, Amazon, GM, Miso Robotics, Embark, Google, Waymo, Starship. Remember these names. Look up AI, look up these companies, because that is very true. The early adopters are going to be the ones to make money because of this revolution, just like we saw with Amazon, Facebook. They didn't just pop up out of the blue. No, They were growing, they saw the need, they saw a problem, they came in and fixed it. Well, this is the problem. Companies are looking for ways to save more money. Again, with the politician saying you're going to have to pay more. That is going to speed up, if anything, that will speed up the amount of companies that are welcoming artificial intelligence. The fact that we're in this space of the pandemic and everyone's thinking about, germs and people interaction, that speeds up technology like artificial intelligence, right? So please do pay attention to that part of the video, because people have already been adopting to this. Right now is a good time to invest in a lot of these companies, because the more money they save, right, the more profit for their investors, for their leadership, right? So I don't want that to be missed, because even if we're in this place where jobs are being replaced by AI, as that man just said, there is money to be made. Again, I don't want people watching my channel to miss it from the jobs standpoint or the investment opportunity standpoint. And too bad, Kinkle, you missed the chat. You'll have to check out that video for sure. I think you'll like it.
There's so much excitement around AI, rightfully so, but if we're not thoughtful about how we go about building these systems, the outcome could be disastrous.
If there aren't enough of us engaged, and I don't actually even just mean women, I mean a diverse group of people, then we're going to get computers who think like some bro culture on the West Coast.
Bias can be inherent to AI and to algorithms if we allow it to be. It comes down to people. If those teams aren't reflective of humanity, then the algorithms aren't going to be reflective of humanity, and that has hugely negative ramifications.
One of the biggest concerns is that workplaces will lose their humanity if we keep incorporating more and more AI into, the office.
There's a lot of algorithms that are being put into place that help the companies in their recruitment processes, who they're going to hire, who they're going to fire, and so on. But the big question is, what data are they using? Are they bringing in your social media data, your private data? Do they get access to your health file, your financial data?
The amount of information that we freely give or unknowingly give to corporations and governments is massive. AI will allow those groups to manage in a very efficient way. Whether that's something that's good for me or bad for me, I think depends on who's doing it and how.
We have all sleepwalked.
That's an interesting thing too. He's saying whether it's good for me or bad for me. They don't really know, right? Because I do see AI having a lot of negative impact. Obviously, you can't have the good without the bad, right? The good with social media is that you can now connect to people worldwide. If you go travel to, I don't know, the Fiji Islands, because I want to go there one day, the Fiji Islands, and you still want to connect with your family back home from the phone, you can. From your computer, you can. So that's a very positive thing, right? But the negative that comes to that comes with that social media is that connectedness, that, feeling like you're always online, the health issues that have been attributed to being so close to your phone and things, and also just the feelings of anxiety because of the feedback that you can get from social media. So many negatives, but also you get a lot of positives. So we can't have the positive without some negative, right? So I get it. So they're talking about the data. So how much data these machines will have about us. And I think that has always been the issue with the whole idea of social media and these companies having your data. Well, if we're introducing more and more technology, more artificial intelligence, the machines are going to know more about us than we probably know about each other or ourselves. Again, because of a machine can look at me and know before I even know that I'm getting upset. And that's some pretty powerful stuff.
Into this current situation, we haven't really understood what it was we were giving away when we were using all of these services, when we were using social media. What is it we are paying with to get all of these services?
We've got people arguing that AI is great and other people arguing that that's the end of humanity. The answer is always somewhere in between. It is something we have to think pretty deeply about.
Every single technological development has changed jobs, right? I mean, that's nothing new. Where I think this whole transformation is new is its magnitude. It's going to affect all of us.
It's true.
I am concerned that these hype discussion about evil AI killer robots, it whitewashes the real challenges, and I think job displacement is a big one.
A lot of jobs will change, meaning that we will have to learn new things. And this brings us to the whole question of and upskilling. This is going to be one of the major challenges of our time, making sure that everybody can follow the developments and have an opportunity to thrive in the labor market.
What happens?
Right. So how does everyone thrive in the labor market, to her point? Well, people are going to have to get new skills, which was my point at the beginning of the video. But here's the problem. Here's the thing that I always have an issue with is you hear people, and I'm telling you, you hear people say this. I don't want to go to school. I don't want to get this certification. I don't want to learn how to code. I just want to get a job and get paid. I just want to go to this job, do this for a set number of hours and get paid. That's just not going to work. You're going to have to learn new skills. All of us are going to have to learn new skills. For myself, I'm going back to learning how to code. I took some courses before, and that's something that I'm working on. We're going to have to keep watching and paying attention. I read the book last year, Who Moved the Cheese? Who Moved the Cheese? And it was all about paying attention to the things that are changing around you and making plans as you see these changes so that you can benefit, so that you're ready. So again, with this video, this is really not meant to scare anyone. It really is meant to, and I'm going to close this because that was really the gist of the video that I wanted to highlight. Okay. Anyway, but that was the gist of what I want to highlight. I just want, again, people that are watching my channel, I want you to not be blindsided by what is to come. And when I hear people saying things like, I just want to get a job, I just want to go to work for 8 hours and make my paycheck, and that's it. I don't want to go back to school. I don't want to learn. It's going to be really tough for people like that, because the jobs that you're doing that are low skill, they're not going to be there to the extent that they are now. People are already, I just talked to someone today and I was asking them about, how is your job search going? They shared they've been looking for 6 months for work. 6 months. And this is someone that had more of a customer service type of background. And it's like, right now we're struggling, to find work for folks. It's gonna get harder if you're not skilled, if you're not learning the skills, right? King of Kill saying, I don't think I could enjoy music that's basically mathematically generated and void of human experience. Here's the thing, some people, these machines are creating music. They're creating art, they're creating music, they are writing. So check out that video if you're interested in learning a little bit more about AI and all the AI can do. I'll probably do another video about this topic, but I just wanted to highlight things. So the jobs that we mentioned earlier, customer support jobs, store clerk jobs, fast food workers, drivers, truck drivers, delivery drivers, all of that stuff, security guards even, if you think about patrol, those jobs are going away. So I will do another video just on, jobs that are going to continue to be in demand, but it may change. These things with technology change up so frequently. It's really really difficult to say. But again, I will tell you, Internet of Things and cybersecurity, from everything I've read and everything that I've been looking at, they're here to stay. Obviously, artificial intelligence, anyone that has skills there, coding, programming, they're still going to be there over the course of the next 10 years because we're going to continue in this revolution, right? And then also anything with data, because companies don't really know what to do with their data. So jobs within business analysis, data analysis are probably still going to be there. However, I do foresee artificial intelligence also playing a part in data analysis because they can analyze data quicker. So let me see. King Akil, you said I'm a writer, so I kind of feel disrespected by it. Oh yeah, I mean, I get it. I understand. And I don't think people want to hear it. I mean, people don't want to hear that, AI is coming for your jobs, or AI is here to stay and it's going to change the job market. Now, I do think there's a lot of opportunity. I feel like, the positive side of artificial intelligence will be that you'll have more of the higher paying jobs, the jobs that require more strategic thinking or higher skills. So companies will be paying naturally higher, salaries, higher hourly rates, or whatever the model will be. But again, these jobs where it's chatbot, moving clothes around as a store clerk or associate in a mall or restaurant or whatever, the fast food workers, we saw drivers, that model is even getting hit because we have a problem. We don't have enough people, right? And then again, delivery and security, these jobs are trickling away, or they're not. I don't see them going away completely. So I don't want anyone to watch this video and think or say, Jessica said all the jobs are going away and the robots are going to have all the jobs by 2030 or 2035. No, that is not 100% what I'm saying. What I am saying, though, is that some of these jobs are not going to be there for you in 2030 or 2035 because we already see it happening. We already slowly see how technology is being really pushed in. We're seeing them at the grocery store. We're seeing more self-checkers. We're seeing more kiosks. We're seeing more droids. We're seeing more. We are seeing more. We're seeing more Teslas on the road. The whole premise for Tesla, the biggest part of Tesla, is the robot controlling the car, driving the car. I literally just talked to this guy, big investor in Tesla, big investor in Bitcoin. And he was really pushing me to buy a Tesla. And the whole thinking behind it was that you can buy this Tesla, right? Pay, whatever on it, give it 2-3 years for when this self-driving is ready, right? They're ready to go. And you can rent out your car. You can be making money and you're not even using your Tesla because of Uber, Lyft. They're really pushing the self-driving car. This is happening. Some people don't think it's really going to happen, but it is. So anyway, I say all that to say, I do not want people blindsided again that watch my videos. I want us to really be looking ahead. Let's keep talking about this. Let's keep the conversation going. Let's keep highlighting the positives and negatives of it and what we need to prepare for. And let's definitely keep talking about, okay, what are those skills that are going to be necessary and in demand that are not really going to be replaceable as much by the artificial intelligence. I do foresee us too. I see us working alongside AI robots. I do think that might be coming. I even saw something where it was like a robot butler. So even if you think about the hotels, like Hilton hotels or whatever, you order room service, a robot comes and delivers your food. I can't remember that particular company, but it's every industry, the cleaning industry, obviously like butler service, I guess is what you would call that, when you're at a hotel. It's coming. It is coming. 10 years will be here before we know it. So, if there are any questions, I think I got a minute. I've been on here close to an hour, so I am going to say good night. I'm looking at the other screen. I am going to say good night, but this was a good discussion. King of Kill, yes, definitely want a Tesla. Teslas are so nice. They're just so nice. Anytime I'm in one, I'm just like, oh, this is nice. It's just sleek design. It's just straightforward, cost effective. And you know what I also learned about the Tesla that I didn't think about before, or just the costs are so low to maintain the Tesla. So it's a really hard argument to say why you shouldn't buy a Tesla. It's really hard. Like, I couldn't really think of anything outside of, having a really big monthly payment for a car, or, seeing a lot of your money go up front if you just have, the cash stash and want to spend that money, like 30 to 60,000 for a car. But if you're gonna spend that money anyway, let's say for people that want to get a Bentley, they might as well get a Tesla and have some type of business going forward after everything's set up for the driverless cars. And again, driverless trucks, driverless cars, it is coming. So King of Kill, I tried to make up for all the lives I missed. That's okay. No, join when you can, and we'll have a discussion. I won't stop here. Yesterday I did have a discussion, King of Kill, about I can't remember if you were part of that discussion, but I was talking about the church and how the churches fail Black people, if you're interested in that. And then before that, I was talking about AI. I think tomorrow I am going to be talking about just the difference between business analyst jobs and data analyst jobs, because I had someone comment on one of my videos, and that was like 2.5 weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago, and I was like, oh, I haven't talked about this yet. And so I was like, I might as well just do a live, because I haven't been feeling the motivation to edit videos. So this is like an easy way to check it off the list and done. So that will probably be a shorter one, because I'm literally just going to be like, this is the business analyst role, this is the analyst role, these are the differences, these are similarities, and bam. So that's all I got for this video. That was really it. I just wanted to show that video. I wanted to walk through some of these jobs. There are definitely more jobs that I could highlight, but these were the main ones I do feel like are going to feel the the push of AI and be affected the most. I definitely see that. So yeah, I just don't want my people to be surprised. Hey, Paolindo. What's up? What's up? Say hey, my people. What is up? How are you, Paolindo? What's going on? I'll stay on here for a minute because you just joined, but I am closing things out. I was just kind of telling people good night, and guys, I'm chatty, so I'll be like, yeah, I'm getting off of here, and then it's like 10 minutes later. I'm still on here. But yeah, Paolindo, we were just talking about artificial intelligence and the main jobs that are going to be affected by artificial intelligence. So we walked through a couple of things. Some surprises, some I think we already know about, like customer service, store clerks, associates, things like that. But the surprising ones were definitely the truck drivers and the security guards, because we now have the tools where these folks can do those jobs for us, or folks, our machines or our robots can do the jobs for us. And then, Paolindo, you were there for the video about the AI, the influencers. So even the influencers, celebrities, rappers are not safe. So I was sharing with King of Kill, since he missed that one, that yeah, there are robots that look exactly like, they look like people you would not know. And they have followers on social media. So it is happening. Okay, so I am not going to keep this long. Oh, thank you. He said, I'm fine. It's right here, but I'm watching your live stream. Yes, artificial intelligence. I'm doing the barber. I hope robots don't. Okay, so you know what is interesting, Paolo? We did just watch a video where we had a person from Sephora, management of Sephora. It might have been the CEO, but she was actually saying how AI is being used for the makeup industry. So I don't know if robots will be coming for, the hair care industries or how that may look, but it could be possible. I can't say I really think it will affect every single thing. Every single job will be affected in some way, right? Everything. So don't do haircuts. Okay, so I am going to go ahead and get off of here, but this was a great discussion. Paolindo, thank you so much for joining. T, thank you for joining. King of Kill and Brian, thanks for joining the conversation. And guys, I will see you in the next video, which tomorrow, again, I will be on here talking really briefly about the difference between data analysts and business analysts. So thanks again. I hope you guys have a lovely night. And it was so nice to see you. So nice to have this conversation. And yeah, I will catch you on the next video. Bye, guys.